I could have been a rapist. I was watching a woman on here talking about the concept of consent and how, while most men would completely reject the idea that they could ever be a rapist, if you were to describe a scenario where a woman said no 1,000 times but eventually said yes, they would think that was consent. And she explained how so many men don't understand the fear that's involved from women, that when they say no many, many times and that person is still pushing for the yes, they don't care about them. And so if they continue to say no, things might go extremely badly for them. And that concept of fear is something that most men don't really get. And that's why personally, I'm really grateful that when it comes to intimacy, I was a late bloomer. I'm not going to say exactly how late, but I was late. And I'm kind of glad of that, because my understanding of the experience of women and what it's like for them, the concept of the fear that they have to go through, just interacting with men in the dating world throughout their lives, that grew as I got older. So if I'd been sexually active in my teens without the understanding that a yes that comes after many no's is not a yes, because there will be an element of fear on the part of the woman, then I could have been a rapist. Because I remember at uni, while I was still not ready for sex, one woman came to my room and she was not really taking no for an answer. And this was after like 4 hours of, let's say I had to use the fact that as a man, I was physically stronger than her in order to get her hands away from certain places. That's what we're talking about here. But for me, that was just a fun anecdote that I could tell. Had the roles been reversed in terms of physical strength, that would be extremely traumatic. And this is not me saying, oh, if the situations were reversed, men have it just as hard as women. That's not what I'm saying at all. Because for her, from her perspective, that concept of fear wasn't there. Like, she knew that if I really wanted to say no, I could say no because, like I said, as a man, I was physically stronger than her. And so I got to enjoy that situation to the precise extent that I wanted to, because I am a man and therefore did not have the same level of fear that she would have had the situations been reversed. Like, A, I'm a man, B, we weren't dating, so she didn't have any emotional power over me, so she didn't have the ability to coerce me emotionally. So even if my no's eventually turned into a yes, that wouldn't have come from a place of fear, it would have just been something that I wanted to do. But it's not like that for women. Which is why for me, the priority has to be educating young boys on what it is actually like for women, what it's like for the girls in their classes, so that they understand the fear that they feel when they're interacting with men. For me, that's how we make sure that all of these could-be rapists never are.